WordPress, real quickly. WordPress, again, is what I'm using right now, which is basically a blogging application. Real quick, it's short for a web blog. It's a place where you can go out and create quick little snippets and updates about what you're doing. Co-winner of the Word of the Year back in 2004.
You like it?
Who asked that question? Yeah, I do like WordPress very well. There are three options for WordPress, if you're interested. By the way, with the exception of this one, they're all free. They're free. You can go to WordPress.com, and we're going to actually do this. You're going to go to WordPress.com and actually create a free one yourself. It becomes WordPress.com/yourname, or yourname.wordpress.com, something like that. That's one option. The second option is WordPress.org, where you download the software for free. You buy your own domain name. That's what I did. It's very inexpensive to do this, folks. This is not big dollar stuff. You can buy your own domain name through GoDaddy for about $15, something like that, and you renew it annually. Then that's how you buy your domain, and you have to have a hosting site. It's not expensive. For $60, $70 tops annually, you can have your own website, your own blog. You download their software and you install it. There's a utility which installs it automatically on your website. It's one click. It's called Fantastico. You click it and it just, you have instant blog stuff. WordPress installs automatically. No HTML. No coding. That one click and you're done. And you can have basically something like what I showed you. This is, again, my blog. So it creates you can choose different themes and all that stuff here too. By the way, yeah.
Can you put that in another folder on your site? Does it have to be in you can go anywhere?
You can go anywhere, sure. But I put it on the root. Is that what you're asking, Dustin? Yeah. Yeah. There has. What Zenny's asking is there been any movement toward unifying or having a common university blogging application? And we are working toward that. There's an application that we are very interested in and integrates into Blackboard. And it provides a wiki, a blog, a podcasting application, a personal website information, and a journal tool, 5 in 1. And we're actually, Sandy Valenti is going, I think, don't hold me to this, the schedule's changed a bit. We were going to, I think, try and do a demo of that. I don't know if that's still on or not. It's not. Okay. Talk to me later if you're interested. We can show that to you. Real quick, well, it just reminded me, by the way, what I do is the cool thing about having your own personal blog, you can do all sorts of interesting things. There's lots of plugins. WordPress has 5,000 plugins that you can install. One of them is the books I'm reading. One of them is my favorite videos. You may recognize this one from the guy at KSU, Michael Wesch. If that name does not ring a bell, please go out and Google Michael Wesch. Really interesting faculty. This, again, my SlideShare is on there. This is my Flickr photo stream that mashes up into my site, so I can pull Flickr into it. This is my tag cloud, which is a mashup as well. So you all know what tag clouds are? That's where you tag words, and it becomes this bunch of this stream of words. But the bigger the words, the more tags there are. But real quick, I'm gonna float this around while I'm talking. Your keynote talked about a couple books today. I want to share this one with you as well. Please, if you can, get a copy of this and read it. It's called Born Digital. This is talking about the new generation of student. I'll throw it around so you can see the authors of it. Fascinating. Talks about how the new generation is so benign to exposing all of their personal information through these new web interfaces. They don't care. There's no privacy. They're totally transparent about this stuff. I'm going to send it around. A couple other books that I encourage you to read. One's called The Cult of the Amateur, which talks about how the things like YouTube and so forth are actually undermining the whole notion of the internet. You can take a look at that. And if you're a teacher online, this is a good book as well. So I'll start those around. Let's see where I was at now. I'm going to get back to my stuff. So back on WordPress here real quick. So yeah, so the .com's free. We have a chance to do that today. The org is one that you install. And this is one for sites, for like a university. You can install that globally. I'm going to go through this as fast as I can. This is there's so many things you can do with the blog. I won't labor you through that. You can read this later on. There's too many utilities to list individually. I mean, there's so many things that you can do with the blog and your students that it just, I can't quite articulate all the different variations of things you can do. Again, 5,000 plugins. You can put all these types of things. What I have on my blog is I have a thing that allows me to post to Twitter from my blog. I have a thing that allows me to post to Facebook from my blog. So I just go to my blog and I can instantly tweet, and I can also post to Facebook at the same time, all through plugins. Videos you saw a bit ago, Flickr you saw a bit ago as well. There's even a plugin for scholarly citations. I don't actively teach, but let me tell you something. If I were teaching actively every semester, I would have my students writing papers using blogs. That's what I would do. I would have them doing this all through blogs, or wikis if it's group work. I would end the practice personally of papers that are handed in to me. I would make them do it through a blog. Lots of reasons why, but we can debate that later. Gosh, let me regroup here. How long do we have today? So 4. Okay, I'm gonna blow through this real quick, 5 minutes. Wikis. Wikis are software which allows you to collaborate, have multiple people being able to edit and update a site. We use wikis in TCS now to update all of our technology sites. So what I do here in August, I do new faculty orientation, and I do new graduate student orientation, and all of those things, those are all going to be run from wikis. The reason being is because we can update them quickly. I don't have to make a handout that's that thick for every student that talks about all technology services, right? I can just point them to the wiki. So our international swarms, all of that, we use wikis now. I don't have a lot of research regarding the wikis yet. I'm still working on that. Ning is a place that allows you to create your own social network. You can create your own social site using Ning. And there's a variety of tools. What the research that I discovered when I did my lit review is that it said that for those faculty who are uncomfortable with using Facebook, you should instead default to using Ning instead, because you have more control over who has access to the content. You have control over the membership of the group much, much better. You have more granular control over the items. So this gives you a little bit more peace of mind if you're going to be using these outside, because these are not university sponsored. So be careful about FERPA and all that. That goes without saying. But one of the ones that I use here is this one from, I recently participated with ESDAC in a thing called Podstock down in Wichita. And I don't have time to show you, but you can actually see a screenshot of it right here. You can customize it however you want. It has its own groups, its own discussion board, its own chat tool, its own file sharing, its own calendar tool. It's almost a course management system. Really close. It doesn't have a grade book. Here's some sites you can go take a look at. There are educational sites specifically dedicated to Ning. You can go take a look later on. Education.ning.com is a site that you can join to talk all about how to use Ning in education. I was hoping to share this one with you too. There's a faculty member that actually, let me see if I could jump out to that real quick. Nope, second look. This faculty member's got a really interesting site. Take a look at it later. It's an archaeological site completely done on Ning. It's really cool. Very, very well done. It's an archaeological Ning. It's an archaeological site. Take it pretty close. 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 It's an archaeologist inside Tigger. Too 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 close.